Welcome to a new Draw My Life video.
Maleficent is a character belonging to the Disney Factory universe. She appears in the films of this studio that revolve around the classic tale of Sleeping Beauty. Her first appearance was in the animation film Sleeping Beauty of 1959. The script is based on fairy tales written by the French author Charles Perrault and the German Grimm brothers between the 17th and 19th centuries. Maleficent is an evil witch who gets angry at not being invited to Princess Aurora's baptism. Even so, she bursts into the palace and throws a curse on the newborn. The day she turns 16, she pinches her finger with the spindle of a spinning wheel and falls into a deep sleep, from which only her first kiss of true love can awaken her. The princess will be helped by her fairy godmothers Flora, Fauna, and Spring, who secretly raise her in a cabin in the middle of the forest, while Maleficent strives to find her to ensure that the curse is fulfilled. In this first version, the character played the role of the bad one in the story, represented at all times as an evil figure. More than half a century later, however, the character took a dramatic twist. Disney was looking for new projects for its saga of real-action films, which had already given great success such as 101 Dalmatians in 1996 or Alice in Wonderland in 2010. Tim Burton, who had directed the latter, began working on a reinterpretation of Sleeping Beauty, but this time focused on the character of Maleficent, her personal story and motivations. Burton left the project, but fortunately received a new boost when actress Angelina Jolie joined as the main character, and Linda Woolverton, the scriptwriter of classics such as Beauty and the Beast in 1991 and The Lion King in 1994. The first rehearsals soon showed that Angelina was perfect for the role. When she dressed and put on makeup, she scared the girls so much that to play the young Aurora, she had to choose her own daughter Vivian, the only one who was not afraid of her mother. In Maleficent 2014, we find a completely different character. A young and beautiful fairy with enormous eagle wings who lives in the swamps, a fantastic world in the forest close to the human kingdom. There, she meets Stefan, an orphan peasant like her, and soon they fall in love. But with the passage of time, Stefan's ambition to progress makes her stop visiting and they end up distancing themselves. One day, King Henry tries to conquer the swamps, but is stopped by the fairy and her army. Humiliated, he decides to offer his daughter's hand to whoever manages to finish her off. Then Stefan, who aspires to reach the throne, takes advantage of her old friendship to betray her. He tricks her to give her a sleeping pill to drink, but when he tries to kill her, his past feelings prevent him from doing so. He then tries to fake her murder, cutting her wings with iron, a substance lethal to fairies, and taking them as proof to the king. The king, who lies on his deathbed on the verge of death, grants him the promise. Stefan marries Princess Layla and becomes the new king. The protagonist, with her heart broken by the betrayal of her former lover, builds a dark kingdom in the swamps and becomes a dark witch called Maleficent. Sometime later, she receives the news that the king and queen will celebrate the baptism of their newborn daughter and decides to attend to carry out her revenge. The film premiered in May 2014 and was a success, raising more than $750 million worldwide, and making Angelina Jolie the new iconic image of this character. The main song, a version of Once Upon a Dream from the original 1958 film, was performed by Lana Del Rey. Barely a year later, Disney announced that a sequel was in the works with the same actors, who were joined by the famous actors Michelle Pfeiffer and Ed Skrein, the supervillain of Deadpool 2016. It was scheduled for 2020, but its release was finally brought forward to October 2019. The story resumes 5 years later, with Princess Aurora and Prince Philip happy and about to marry. What no one suspects is that Queen Ingrid, Philip's mother, secretly plans to use the wedding to confront fairies and humans. The intimate relationship between Maleficent and Aurora will be put to the test when they meet on opposite sides of an imminent battle. How will this story end? For that, Tic-Tackers, you will have to go to the cinema to see Maleficent Mistress of Evil in 2019. What we're sure of is that we will enjoy watching one of our favorite Disney characters on the big screen again.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, and if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!